Minister, I think the principle behind this bill is sound in that it brings about additional motivation to ensure that people have timely access to our courts, and for where this does not happen, to provide for compensation through the office of a newly appointed Chief Court Delays Assessor and Court Delays Assessors. But I have to say at the outset that we also have similar legislation in other areas of Irish law, and they have not worked out so well in actual practice. We have the statutory duty that exists for onboard Pleanála under Section 126 of the Planning and Development Act to ensure that every appeal is determined within 18 weeks, beginning on the date of receipt of an appeal. And look how that has worked out. It's caused much frustration among people in rural Ireland, among rural couples who are trying to build near a family farm and, as I said, even rural people who want to remain in their community. We have the obligation also to perform an assessment of need, which is provided for under the Disability Act 2005. But yet thousands of children have been mired in that process, well in excess of the 3 months. Where is their compensation? But there is also another very important dimension to this. Minister James Brown touched upon during his remarks recently. He spoke about how a stable, well-functioning court system that can give decisions within a reliable time frame is an important part of Ireland's attractiveness to foreign business and feeds directly into Ireland's prosperity, and I agree with that. But I have been making similar points, these very points, for some time now in respect to projects like Banagher Chilling in Banagher, County Offaly. And the extraordinary and unacceptable delays in that particular case was, as I said at the time, it was like someone shining a spotlight into the Midlands night sky, saying, "Beware of investing here." Then we saw the active threat that delays around judicial reviews can have on developments, and we saw that in terms of the Glanbia plant in Kilkenny, which was being obstructed by An Taisce at the time. Thankfully, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal brought about by An Taisce against the granting of permission in February last year. For most people, however, it is not the delays that are the biggest problem in terms of accessing the courts, but it is the enormous costs that are involved with such access. I accept that delays add to costs, but even getting your foot in the door can cost an arm and a leg and bring a normal person seeking the vindication of their rights to the brink of bankruptcy. Indeed, as the Irish Times itself noted recently, the experience of the Irish court users is poor, costly and lengthy, and court information technology and data systems are not fit for purpose, according to an independent report commissioned by the Department of Justice. The report suggested that the state may need up to 108 additional judges over the next 5 years. It was also noted that there are stark variations in waiting times for domestic violence applications in the district courts, ranging from a same-day hearing in Dublin and speedy hearings in 14 other districts, including Athlone, Castlebar and Clonakilty. But then that jumped up to 26 weeks of a wait for a hearing in Neenah and Tipperary. The government says that it's considering the appointment of several additional judges to speed up the process. But I would just make the point, as Seth Barrett-Tillman of Maynooth University has done on many occasions, that is, this will not improve things if the rules and traditions that guide the conduct of litigation carry on using the same or a similar procedural framework. In fact, it will just mean that whatever new courts we set up will continue to be weighed down by the exact same backlog in the exact same way as exists now. And I'll end on that note.